Hello, and good morning, and good day. Go to partneroncall.com. When you get there, search for Let's Demystify Pre-LOI Due Diligence. You'll go to a web page, click the link, you can download a free report showing all 38 topics. You're about to listen to some of them. This offer expires soon, so take advantage of it. All right, I'm Ted Leverette. I'm the original business buyer advocate. I'm not a business broker, never have been. And for more than 30 years, I've been helping, over 100,000 entrepreneurs and advisors worldwide. They've bought my books, they've taken my trainings, they've hired me. We handle things like creative finance, deal making. I personally coached about 1,000 clients, and this is important. I've trained 298 independent advisors. They don't work for me. They're not in my company. I trained them to better serve people buying and selling companies. Let's go to David Barnett.
Well, hey, Ted, thanks for having me over. I'm a former business broker, and those were the days back when you and I first met. And today I work still helping people buy and sell businesses, but as a consultant rather than as a broker. And I've written some books on the topic, and I've got a YouTube channel where I answer people's questions.
I'm going to just say one sentence about what's the optimum timing before aborting or submitting an LOI. Nancy said, get her done. Well, how much time should elapse? Well, it depends. Listen up. It depends on the motivation of the buyer and seller, and which is bigly, like that word, I only picked that one up 3 years ago, which is bigly affected by the degree of buyer competition. And guess what? Whether a broker is orchestrating the process. So David, come in here and talk to us about what you've heard up to now.
Sure. Thanks, Ted. I think that, let's talk about this amount of time, first of all, because there's a huge difference, obviously, in being able to gather your preliminary information between a business that's being represented by a qualified business broker versus maybe an independently sourced deal where the seller is unprepared. And one of the greatest resources that buyers have, and when I ask buyers sometimes, what is your greatest resource? A lot of them will think towards their down payment money, the cash they have available, their credit, all that sort of thing. But I would argue that a buyer's greatest resource is actually their time. And I've come to this conclusion after meeting buyers who've spent years looking for businesses. And one of the biggest problems that they have is that they are out there doing window shopping instead of grocery shopping. And if you can think of those two different styles of shopping, you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. If you go into a mall and you're just looking at what's on display in the windows, you can be distracted by all kinds of different things. And when buyers enter the scene where there's a business for sale and they're unfamiliar with that industry and unfamiliar with that business, then they don't know what's important to look at before they get that LOI on the table. And so this is why it's so important, I think, to have a well-defined target of what kind of business you're looking for. What are your criteria? What is the industry? Because every kind of industry is going to have its drivers of value. And so this is the big difference between someone who's already in a business looking to acquire, to grow through acquisition. They understand the business, they know what's important in that business, and they're going to ask specific questions about those things. A well-prepared package from a qualified broker is going to give you a lot of those numbers. You can submit an LOI and say, subject to due diligence, assuming everything's been presented is true, this is the kind of deal we're willing to work on. If you have an unprepared seller, then obviously you're going to have to gather a certain minimum amount of information in order to make that offer. The second place where I see people do a misstep is that they will get this idea that the offer needs to somehow be perfect. And so they'll engage in what I call negotiating against themselves, where they'll think about what they would like to offer, and then they worry that it won't be well received, and they try to anticipate what the seller might counter so that they can modify their offer to be more in line with what they believe will be the ultimate deal, which you can never prejudge, because the whole point of making an offer and entering into a negotiation is to learn what is important to the seller. You offer what's going to work for you. They're going to let you know what parts of that don't work for them. And so getting that offer on the table so that you can actually get to the constructive negotiation is an important part of getting to the end. And if you're fumbling about because you don't understand the business yet and you don't know what to ask for, well, that's what leads to these delays in time, like Ted was saying, and gives ample opportunity for the more qualified, savvy, and informed buyer to ask the key questions and get their LOI in before you can.
Hey, you. That's right, you. Have you been looking to buy an exciting and profitable business? Are you tired of searching, but only finding barriers that impede you from owning a wonderful business? Well, have we got some good news for you. You can find and buy the right business the right way. And you don't have to go it alone. For over 30 years, author and transaction advisor Ted Leverette, the original business buyer advocate, has been helping buyers worldwide achieve win-win done deals. Ted Leverette says, you can't buy it if you can't find it. You see, buying a business is all about search. Because if you can't find it, you can't buy it. It's about being best and first. First on the scene with sellers and being the seller's first choice and top of mind for brokers and sellers. And most importantly, avoiding buyer competition. What about having to compete with other buyers? Well, you have to outbid them, which is a good way to pay more than a business is worth. Searchers do better with a winning business buyer marketing plan, and that's where Ted Leverette comes in. He'll help you prepare a winning plan, and then he'll guide your actions so you can find and then buy the right business the right way. But searching is not enough. The reality is too many people buy the wrong business, or they buy the right business, but on the wrong terms. That's why, if you want to buy the right business the right way, it makes sense to have Ted Leverette, the original business buyer advocate, on your advisory team. And one of the best ways to know what the savviest searchers and buyers do is to read Ted Leverette's books, How to Prepare Yourself and Find the Right Business to Buy, and How to Buy the Right Business the Right Way. You can get them at his website, partneroncall.com. Don't chance it. Right now, go to partneroncall.com, get the books, and schedule a free and private telephone conversation with Ted Leverette.
You can do better if you contact me and we build or improve your searcher marketing plan. You can learn more about searching by reading my book, How to Prepare Yourself and Find the Right Business to Buy. And my other book helps you achieve worthwhile deals, How to Buy the Right Business the Right Way. You will save time, you will save money, you will achieve better deals if you do what the savviest buyers do. I'm available to help you deploy the tactics and strategies from my books. You can get them on Amazon. So, I'm Ted Leverette, the original business buyer advocate with Partner On Call Network. Thanks for listening.